Hello Internet, it's Mr. Jones 2020 here, and today I'd like to teach you a little known technique by Gann that's essentially a dynamic squaring of price and time. Let me move over to a chart here. I have not done this on and explain things. So what we've got here is a indicator I coded. I call it Multiverse because it's allowing me to look at multiple time frames on one screen. You've got quarterly, which is this darker, thicker red line, the monthlies, weeklies in orange. So I'm getting to view all three of these time frames on one screen so I can see that weekly was bullish here, bullish, bullish. We had an engulfing candle on the weekly here, inside another engulfing, bearish, bearish, etc. You get the idea. So what we're going to do here is take the various highs and lows in these time periods and follow the rule like so. So if you have a bearish quarterly, let's say, which is what I'm doing right now, is your quarterly, the high leads on this outer right edge, and we will take the low, okay, and that gets brought to the trailing left edge, creating this channel in price. Okay, this would be the quarterly. This is a completed quarterly from Q3 of 22. This is your completed Q4 of 22, and we're still developing Q1 of 23 here. So at the end of March, once price closes on Friday the 31st of this month, I will be able to do the same thing. So we'll be taking this high to this high and bringing out this leading edge. Okay, so that's the quarterly. Another thing I personally like to do is make myself an equilibrium point for the previous closed quarter, like so. So now you've got a quarterly resistance, a geometric quarterly resistance, according to a, as I said, little known Gann method. And way down here, obviously not going to get touched, is the support in negative territory. And I don't think you're going to end up owing the market money for Tesla going negative, unless you're messing around with some options and playing around in naked ways you should not. All right, now we go for the Geo monthly. And I've created trend lines for the appropriate coloring that suits me and my method and what just resonates with me personally, but you get the idea. Now this month was lower than this month. And again, we're using closed months. So since we had a bullish 2-month structure here, it's going to be support that leads on the right edge. Okay. And we'll take the highs, bring it back to the start of the month. This is the squaring part. Okay. And I like to pull EQs on the previous quarter, previous month, and I will do so on the previous week as well. Now, as you can see, the month opened here, went up for a day, and then came down 2 or 3 days and broke through our geometric support, a bearish sign. That you need this to tell you that it was bearish as prices going down. now we are going to draw the weekly, same as before, and since price went down, it will be resistance on the leading edge. And so we do the same for support and for resistance. That is the trailing edge as it's bearish, giving you such a structure. And like I said, I use the deeper red for my quarterly stuff. Monthly for me is this red, and weekly is always orange for me. Now, were I doing other time frames, daily would be green, 4 hour would be blue, etc. Now, another method that he incorporated with this was determining projections for likely price action based on the previous, in this case we're doing the weekly, and the opening price. So this one will be a weekly geometric projection, as it were. Now this is always brought out to the leading edge, and then you take it out past the current week. So for stocks, for FX, etc., it'll be a 5-bar count, 295 to 300 on this particular draw. So you can see that price briefly dropped below what would have been a weekly projection at opening point, dropped below, and has come back up through and out to the top side. Also note that even though we've been bearish here, our weekly EQ is still above our quarterly EQ. So we don't have a proper EQ stack for a longer term bearish price projection, so to speak. You can do the same thing on the monthly, which would be here, low, high, and what was the opening price on the month, like so. And then, as I said, you carry it out to the leading edge and take this till the end of the month. At the time of this month closing, as soon as this candle opened here, we were able to draw this triangle. And as you can see, it was fairly even, didn't have a lot of bias, whereas this one is clearly a bearish style triangle with a flat bottom and downward sloping top line. On the monthly perspective, we are below the EQ, we are below the geo projection of that triangle drawn, and we are approaching our resistance line based on a weekly geo line. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope it maybe gives you a little new insight into how to view the market, and thanks for watching.